Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure to subscribe down here quickly, just before the video gets started, so you'll always be notified when there's more great content. So today's video is about Sogang University in Seoul, South Korea. You may or may not know that I spent a year at Sogang University as an exchange student from 2016 to 2017. I had a really wonderful time there, and I thought that today I would sit down with you guys and tell you a little bit about my experiences at Sogang University and why I recommend it 100%. Some basic information about the university. It was established in 1960 and the campus spans 53 acres, which sounds like a lot, or at least in my opinion it does. But I remember when I first got there, one of the Korean students, she told me that Sogang University is a relatively small university, especially compared to some of the other ones like Yonsei University. But for me, who I'd come from a small university in London, Sogang University, the campus is huge. It's amazing. There are different hills that you can go up and down, and there's a building all the way over here and over there. So if you're unlucky enough to have back-to-back classes that are at opposite ends of the campus, you have to run. Like, you gotta sprint. So location-wise, Sogang University is pretty much in the perfect spot. It's really close to Sincheon, Hongdae, and Hapjeong, which are some of my favorite areas in Korea. Sincheon is a very studenty area with a lot of really great eateries, and Hongdae is the perfect party area. So if you're like me and you enjoy partying and having fun, then Sogang University could be perfect for you. Of course, there are other really great benefits, but location is a big one, I think. So Sogang University definitely gets 10 out of 10 on that for me. So while I was there, I was attending the KLEC, which is the Korean Language Education Center. The program that I was doing is called KAP 200, and it consists of afternoon classes from 1:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday to Friday. So it's pretty intensive, and the syllabus for each level, again, is very intensive. So you learn a lot. You really do. My level of Korean really shot up, which was wonderful. But it can be hard work. It will be hard work, but it's the sort of hard work that's really worth it in the end. So each term lasts for 10 weeks. And each term is 1,770,000 Korean won, which I will translate. I will convert for you down here or up here. It's a lot of money for 10 weeks, but you really do get bang for your buck, in my opinion. The class sizes tend to be 16 students or less. In my case, it was usually around 12 students, so you get a lot of sort of one-on-one time with the teacher, which I think is very important. But there are enough people that you can make friends, and you can also do really fun pair or group activities, so it's a really nice class size. The classes will always change per level. So you'll never be in the same class with the exact same students. You know, maybe there'll be one or two people that you recognize if you all go up a level together, but 80% of that class is likely to be completely new faces that you haven't ever studied with before, which at first can seem quite daunting because, you know, every 10 weeks, if you decide to keep going with the KLEC, you're having to adjust to a whole new classroom of whole new people. But everyone that I met was really lovely, and I think that it allows for you to make more friends and to meet more people. And because everyone does come from such a different background, I think that it's a very rich environment culturally. So like I mentioned before, there are a lot of Vietnamese students, a lot of Chinese students, but there are also Swedish students, and there were some African students, and there were some students from everywhere, you know, more British students like me. And it was just such a nice atmosphere. During the breaks, you get a 10-minute break between the classes. Or was it 5 minutes? I can't remember. Maybe. A lot of people tend to rush downstairs to the convenience store to buy some food, like chicken snacks or whatever, but the hallways are always really loud and really filled with laughter and the sound of like running feet, and it really felt like you were back at school, like high school or something, without all the horrible drama. So kind of perfect, you know? What I noticed, which was really interesting, was that from levels 1 till 3, oh, I forgot to mention, so there are 6 levels that you can do at Sogang University. And from level 1 to 3, it tends to be mostly Vietnamese students. But then from levels 4 to 6, I would say the majority of students are Chinese. And I'm not sure exactly why this is, but just sort of an interesting thing that I noticed. So I'm in the middle of editing now, and I realized that there's another thing I forgot to say that I really wanted to touch on, which was attendance is really strict. Like, I'm the sort of person that, doesn't turn up for every single class, but really, it was a struggle for me to make sure that my attendance was acceptable. I'm pretty sure it's 80% required attendance, and if you go under the 80%, then you're out. Like, you're just done. And there's no leniency. I mean, unless you have a specific reason. You have, I think, sick days that you can take, but something like 5. So yeah, if you're the sort of person like me who tends to be a little bit weak or weedy or just is terrible at attending all their classes, make sure you mentally and physically prepare for it. It was tough, you guys. It was tough. The classes are split up into 4 different sections. So there's speaking, reading, writing, and listening. What I think is really fabulous about the Sogang University or the KLEC program is that the main focus is on speaking. I know a lot of the other Korean language programs tend to have a different focus, whether it be reading or writing. I think that the focus the KLEC has on speaking is really useful. I think that it makes it feel like you're gaining a much more practical knowledge of Korean, and a lot of the times after class, I would learn new grammar structure or, a new phrase, a new word, and that very day, I would go out, leave the classroom, and on my way home or on the way to have dinner with someone or doing whatever, I would hear that word or I would hear that grammar structure, and I was like, oh wow, I know what that is now. Somehow I'd never heard it before, but once I was aware of it, all of a sudden it was all I heard. But I think that this was really because of the practical knowledge that Sogang gives you. So I actually know some students who they were attending other university Korean language programs or other institutions for Korean language, and then they came to Sogang University and they decided they would never go anywhere else. So I think that says a lot about the quality of education there. I would say that the teachers in Sogang are, I keep saying Sogang, sorry, the KLEC. The teachers in the KLEC are 95% fantastic. I loved them. They were so wonderful. They were so passionate about what they did, or they were really good actors, but they genuinely did seem to care about us, and they really wanted us to progress, and they were very involved. So it never felt like, how should I explain this? It never felt like they didn't care, which I think is really lovely in a teacher. I have had experience in the past throughout my academic years where I have had teachers that quite obviously don't really care about the well-being of the student, or whether or not that student's improving or doing well or even enjoying their class. But the teachers at the KLEC really were so fabulous. They really tried to make sure that everyone was involved, and they always came to the classes prepared, and I always felt like I was learning something. So the teachers were fabulous. Really, thank you guys. The exams were tough, especially in level 4. So I did level 2 to level 4. The exams were tough in level 4. I really had to study my ass off for those. It was really intense and pretty stressful, I won't lie. But I passed somehow, and I'm so glad that I studied as hard as I did, because everything about it felt rewarding. And like I was saying before, because they have such an emphasis on speaking and very practical knowledge, you can use it immediately. So none of it feels wasted or none of it feels pointless. You're able to use what you learn immediately, which I think is really fantastic, and it stops you feeling a little hopeless or a little bit like you're doing something pointless. So I really enjoyed that part of it. Another thing I'd like to briefly touch on is that Sogang does offer topic preparation classes, and for some reason I never took them, or I was never interested in taking the topic exam, and now I really regret it because wouldn't that be nice to have? And I'm pretty sure that since my time at the KLEC, my Korean language ability has slightly plummeted. I don't think I'm at the same level I was when I was passing level 4. But if I'd have taken the topic exam at that level and passed, I would have that certificate, and how nice would that be? But I was a fool who was more interested in partying. So that's one of my main regrets. So apart from the KLEC, I was also taking regular university classes at Sogang University, only one per term. And I attended 2 terms at Sogang University. The first class I took was an English language Korean literature class, and the second one was an introduction to film class, and they were both really fun, really interesting. I think I only had them twice a week, so it wasn't a very heavy workload for them. I would say they were pretty light topics, or they were taught in a pretty light manner, so I learned a lot, but I wouldn't say that they were particularly stressful or difficult in any way. So they were just really enjoyable, actually. So to sum up, Sogang University and the KLEC, I completely recommend them. I think the teaching quality is excellent. The class sizes are great. It is pricey. There's no way around that. It is pricey, but the education that you get for that money, I think, is fantastic. If I had the money, I would go back and I would finish all 6 levels at Sogang University, and I would love to graduate from there. They have really cute graduation gowns. Let me know if you're thinking of going to Sogang University, or if you've been. Let me know your thoughts, and if you're planning to go to Sogang University, let me know when. Maybe we can be students together, can study together. If you have any questions for me about other aspects of my time in Sogang University or even in Korea, please let me know, and I will sit down and I'll try and answer you as best as I can. I also have a lot of stories from Korea, so you can check those out. I have a whole series called Storytime where I recount to you some of the crazy things that went on during my time in Korea, so if you're interested, please make sure to check that out. Also, let me know in the comments below if you have been to Sogang University, if you agree with my comments. You may agree, you may disagree. Let me know your experiences. And as I said at the beginning of this video, please make sure to subscribe. And also please make sure to give me a thumbs up because it really helps. And like I said, leave me a comment. I'd love to know your thoughts. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care. Bye. Again, I forgot to mention that I have Instagram, so if you're interested in following me, I will put it down here somewhere. So hope to see you guys there. Bye!